Every video essayist I've seen always starts the video with some Wikipedia or Google definition of some word. This word has some close association with whoever or whatever they're talking about. Then the segue begins. I'm not a video essayist in that regard, but I am in a way similar to them in that I got lazy and I'm going to just add some gameplay in the background when you see these speaking sections. If you want to press me on these topics that I'm going to be talking about after, these are all subjective views that I have, and you're free to disagree all you want. But I've done some research on some things to help me discuss some of these quote unquote multifaceted topics. The spark that caused me to want to make this video was the recent overruling of Roe versus Wade. In the midst of all of that, I saw three content creators have some conversations. Your Rage and I'm Dante both had debates with Young Don, the Sauce God, about abortions. I think these conversations were terrible in all honesty. Young Don being pro-life, Your Rage and I'm Dante being pro-choice. Originally, I wanted to talk about this stuff last, but with the length of the video and the things that end up coming up with the video, I'm going to make a separate video about Roe versus Wade and the different conversations and talking points. So that'll come later on. So yeah, I won't be talking about that. But after watching those debates, I wanted to look into Young Don and his content because some of his views when he was having those discussions, I greatly disagreed with, and I wanted to see if he had any other talking points or views. So I took a deep dive and I watched a lot of his videos from his second channel, which is Young Don the Sauce God 2, I think. Long story short, yeah, still don't agree with a lot of the stuff that he's pushing. And some of the disagreements that I did have, you'll see in this video. And I'm not here to convince him otherwise or anything. This comes down to a difference in opinion. You can't say that a subjective thought is wrong because by nature it's subjective. But you can muddy the waters when you offer a subjective thought as an objective truth. So everything you're going to be hearing from me here is my opinion.
Now, from what I've seen, Akash, super blue pilled. I listened to his recent interview with Joe Rogan. He was a virgin up until the age of 31, which, you know, credit to him. He was his wife's first and his wife was his first. It was clearly because of religious reasons he did that, which I think is morally noteworthy and morally admirable. Only thing is, I don't think you should have had to wait till 31 to get married. You feel me? I think it's ideal to wait till marriage to have sex if both you and your wife are virgins. That's ideal, right? That's the way God wants it. But ain't no waiting until fucking 31 to get married then. Then you get married at, you know, between 22, 23, 24, 25, ideally in that range. You feel me? Being a virgin at 22 and marrying your virgin wife sound way less crazy than being a virgin at 31. At the end of the day, good for him.
To summarize, he both commends and criticizes him for waiting till marriage to have sex. Don believes that you should wait till marriage to have sex, but don't wait too long. The way he said it came off as it sounds crazy to be a virgin until 31 to get married. I think if you want to wait till marriage to have sex, whether it be for religious reasons, for your own personal reasons, obviously I have no issue with that at all. I think you should be able to do whatever you want. In this case, it's for a religious purpose. For all power to you. But back to Don, it's hard to discern whether this is something that he believes because of his religion or his own personal standard. It just seems like he's judging him for getting married at 31 as a virgin rather than getting married younger with your virginity. The line should be more clear because in the Bible it doesn't say that you should get married by this time. You should get married by 22, 23, 24, 25. It doesn't say that. And that's an opinion many Christians have because youth is important. They believe that getting married and having children while you're in your prime childbearing years is important. I say all that because there's a hypocrisy with, let's just say, hypocrisy here with a person who's a follower of, let's say, the Bible. I don't know if he's Christian or Catholic or Baptist, whatever, There's a hypocrisy there with people who follow the Bible, him in particular, and then him then passing judgment onto someone else when he's taught not to pass judgment from the Bible. To me, he mentioned the crazy to get married at 31 and be a virgin as a jab to make fun of him. And it really feels like he's feigning acceptance. And when I say that, I mean, like, I accept you as long as you fit within this box that I've constructed. I think a lot of people do that. And I think if you're positioning yourself as a righteous person, as a person who's God-fearing, as a person who believes in the Bible, you shouldn't have that box there for anyone at all, no matter the circumstances. So here, I just feel like there's hypocrisy with him, like passing judgment onto him because he did write in his book, but he didn't do it exactly the way he pictures people should be doing it.
Thing about kid shows is that they were shows for kids. That's what they were for. And some of them were better than others. Some were kind of weird. Some were kind of stupid. Some were artistic masterpieces. Like, for example, the Nickelodeon show Salute Your Shorts, which is a 90s show that every 90s kid remembers and then is shocked to discover that every other 90s kid remembers it too. Now, the thing about these shows is that their primary goal was to entertain, as I remember. And that's different from the situation that we have today, where kids shows seem to consider entertainment sort of a secondary concern. The primary goal now is to ensure that the children in the audience adopt the correct political and ideological viewpoints.
Wheel of morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn.
And by correct, I mean those views that are in keeping with the mainstream beliefs of our culture. And
I'm actually going to disagree here with that. I think shows aimed for a kid audience have always looked to entertain and to teach at the same time. There are lessons and teachings scattered throughout the shows, and whether you catch it as a kid or you rewatch it and realize that you caught it as a kid, or you rewatch it and you're like, oh, I didn't see that. It was there. Kids shows have always intertwined teaching throughout them. Maybe that's just me, but that's kind of what I've noticed.
The Muppet Babies sounds like a show targeting toddlers, like preschoolers. Am I off there? So this is what people mean when they talk about indoctrination of children. This is what people mean when they talk about grooming. This is what they're talking about. It's not made up mumbo jumbo. It's not dog whistling. You're normalizing and bringing forth ideas to babies. You're normalizing these very taboo things that have to do with sexuality. I think everyone can agree that the most heinous crime that can be committed is a sexual crime against a child.
I know these clips are long, but I just want you to get a full grasp of what he's saying. I don't want to just clip up and take out segments. That whole thing, I want you to hear everything he was saying, so that you know where I'm coming from when I explain why I disagree. See, here we're just at a difference in opinion. Now, I can just infer that based on the clip, Don disapproves of men. In the cartoon, it was like a boy. He was wearing like a princess dress. He just disapproves of like boys wearing girls' clothing. In this case, a dress. He doesn't think kids should be shown this stuff. If that's how he sees it, if that's what he wants from for his like kid, or that's his choice. I respect that. Where I believe he starts to really voice concerning rhetoric is when he brings up sexual implications. His words exactly were grooming and indoctrinating. And he mentioned normalizing taboo things that have to do with sexuality. I think he's holding back his lingo, but I think we can all get what he's really trying to say. It seems like he has a problem with wearing clothes of a different gender. In this case, like I said before, a boy wearing a dress. And that showing kids that you can dress however you want is grooming them. These are just my inferences of what he was saying. But I would have to disagree with that. That's not the case. Making children aware of that you can dress like however you want, be and do whatever you want, I think it's the correct way to go about things. We introduce different things to people at a young age so that we can effectively, in some way, stomp out ignorance. The problem here isn't that it's committing some sexual violence or showing sexual content to kids. Don has a problem with boys wearing girls' clothing and showing concepts and stuff that aligns with that to kids. And, just another inference, but teaching them at a young age what, like, LGBTQ plus means will help them in being more accepting of these people, because, as taught in the Bible, you're supposed to accept everyone as they are.
See, this is why it's so important to have a father in the home. It's clear that Gonzo doesn't have a father in the home to say, hey, take that thing off. You look stupid. Get that thing off of you.
Take that ridiculous thing off.
Some people...
I don't know. It's kind of like needing to see to know what they believe,
all enjoy that once again.
Hey, Blue, look at all these families. Hi, families. It's time for a pride parade. Families marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. Families marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah.
Oh yeah.
This
Y'all didn't
family
know
has
about
two mommy.
y'all didn't know about this one? Y'all didn't know that Blue's Clues was putting out bangers like this?
One, hurrah, hurrah. This family has two mommies. They love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big parade. Families marching.
Also, y'all peep the BLM fist on the microphone.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That's kind of funny. Oh, and then they got the trans flag too. This is Blue's Clues. That's the point of this whole video here. Look, if you want to talk about this kind of stuff, that's what Euphoria is for. That's what, adult R-rated content is for. This is not appropriate for little children.
Hurrah, hurrah. Families marching 4 by 4, hurrah, hurrah. Trans members of this family all
Wow, interesting.
love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big parade. Come join the fun.
This, by the way, is a show for preschoolers. Okay, like 3-year-olds pushing drag queens and pansexuals. Do you know what a typical...
So the confusion continues to mount, because I think I know what he's trying to say. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I'll just, think that Don isn't of the approval of LGBTQ communities. That's just what I can infer, especially with him, like, putting anything that's in that, thing as like, oh, this is R-rated stuff. This is R-rated, never show this to kids. It's weird, it just really feels like he, like other like Christians or, don't want content related to sexuality unless it's straight. Unless the people are straight. Unless it's man, woman. That's it. It's weird. It's weird to Don because he's not accepting of those people. But there's no sexual content being shown to kids. The point is to make them aware, to teach them, so that they can be accepting of people, no matter who they are, or what, background, what identity they are, any of that. Yeah, it's just kind of ridiculous.
be friends. But in a nutshell, it's because men do not become friends with women that they aren't attracted to. Men do not keep friends with women they don't want to fuck. Also, again, why you need to, I'm talking about you just meet a girl at school and she was like sitting behind you in class and you turn around and ask for a fucking pencil and then you start chopping it up and now you want to be her friend. I guarantee you it's because you also want to fuck her. If she was ugly as shit, if she looked like a fucking wildebeest, I promise you, you're not trying to hang out. Does anyone disagree with that? Come on now. I'm some Casanova or, you know, I can pull any bitch in the world. But if I'm getting all like, if your girl is getting all like chummy with me, that's a problem. That's a problem for you if that's your girl. You feel me? Because I ain't on no goofball, you know, friend type shit. If I'm investing time and energy, I'm trying to raise her attraction to me. That's all I'm doing. If I'm talking to a girl, I'm just trying to raise her attraction to me. I'm trying to use game the entire time I'm talking to her. If you
I think the only thing I can say is I just disagree. If that's how his relationships work and that's how he wants his relationships to work and that's how he thinks relationships should work, that's his opinion. He's free to it. I respect it. Now, me personally, I don't see a barrier where like I'm doing like some mental gymnastics on like the dynamics of people. To me, who you choose to be friends with or build those like personal connections with, gender, sexual orientation, your identity, none of that really is like a factor.
I once read a book called Pimp by Iceberg Slim, and he talked about how you gotta know your hoes more than your hoes know themselves. In the chat, maybe we're all crazy, but if there's someone in the chat that believes that we should be talking, that it's normal and healthy to can talk about sex and sexuality to a little girl in kindergarten or a little boy in grade 1, please identify yourself so I can ban your weird ass. Go ahead, let me hear it, let me see, because that is what this bill is doing. This bill, the whole point of this bill is to prevent teachers who are adults, by the way, oftentimes who don't have children, from projecting their weird sexual views onto impressionable, innocent, pure children. You feel me? That's really what's going on here. The interesting thing here.
There's a lot to break down here, but let's just, give it a try. I'm gonna give you a little background about myself. I went to church consistently when I was very young till about my junior year of high school. And grades 1 through 8, I went to a Catholic Catholic elementary/middle school. I have a lot of experience with religion, being in a very religious background with a very religious family. Had religion class every day, and went to church 2 or 3 times a week between school and like outside of school. I was taught at early ages through religion about man and woman being together, being fruitful, etc. Is that sexual in nature? No. I disagree with how he characterizes non-straight relationships in an overtly sexual manner. I was taught about man and woman because the environment I was in only accepted that. If we are teaching kids that they can be whoever they want, they can do whatever they want, and that they should accept people even if their orientation or their gender identity or whatever is different, I think all of that is fine. But for Don, I don't think it matters because to him, being LGBTQ+ is taboo and you shouldn't be teaching kids about it because it's sexual. I don't know. Early introduction isn't some moral evil against the purity of children. Being gay, being trans, being etc. is not in any way any more sexual than just being straight. His stance can be boiled down to, it's okay if they're only subjected to what I think is right. And to that, I disagree.
Ron DeSantis, who I'm telling you right now is probably the next president of the United States of America.
I disagree.
I'm telling you, this man is probably going to be, you heard it here first.
I disagree again.
Remember this, that young Don the Sauce God said this, that this man is more than likely going to be the next president of the United States. And yeah.
Kind of wish that wasn't the case. But it then just comes back again to what matters most. Having had sex or having been able to do so with someone I care about.
I'm a 20
Yeah, that's something like a virgin would say.
20-year-old gay boy should be who you are and know that it's beautiful.
Yeah.
As an emotional man, I always feel like I have to act fearless and strong. But in reality, I'm extremely sensitive. I'm too scared to be who I am. I think everyone feels that way.
What is this? Is this the fucking Cinderella fucking confessions? What the fuck is this? Why is everybody so soft? Why is everyone in there feeling so much? Golly, man. Come on. Where's the guy who with the secret like, when I was 16, I fucked my mom's best friend. Where's that nigga? Why is it all my feelings? God, what is this?
When I was a child,
somebody took my lollipop and it made me sad. I bet that's what you about to say.
mother prostituted me.
Whoa, that took a sharp turn.
And
That's
she
horrible.
invited me into the room and she...
At least it was a woman, which does make a difference. It's still horrible, but it does make a difference. I myself can speak to he do kind of look like a woman though, don't it? Like, not in a like, he look like a dyke. He kind of got dyke energy. You feel me?
Yes.
He got what's that one? What's her name? Young M.A. He got Young M.A. vibes, don't it?
I'm a guy of trans experience.
Huh?
I fight daily with feeling man enough.
Huh?
Being in this type of situation.
Oh, this is a woman that converted to being a man? Is that what's happening? I'm already like too old for this generation, bro.
Yourself back.
If I told my niggas that my girl is physically and sexually abusing me, they gonna laugh at me and stop being my friends. Now they gonna be hugging. Yuck!
This video that he did, to me, watching so much of his content, felt one of the most egregious ones. I felt so disappointed in how he navigated the conversations that were being had. And I just felt a genuine feeling of disappointment, in the clips that you saw. And in this video in particular, I had so many clips. I had so many instances. There's more that I left out, but that, it was already so many instances of just like, what the fuck, And just to give you like an understanding of what was going on, and I just had to like play them all, back to back. And so, when I digested it, I really felt sick to my stomach. Just disgusted, really. To be a so-called, believer in God, he quotes the Bible all the time. And then to sit there and for the whole 13 or 14-minute video to just judge and judge and judge is disgusting. It's these people that think that just because they are in some religion or believe in something, that they're like morally superior to the rest. And that's just not the case. And you can see here that no amount of I'm really at loss for words, to be honest. I even have a script here and I can't read it. But no amount of whatever is going to stop the ignorance that that he displayed for 14 minutes straight here. You really gotta practice what you preach. And if you're only preaching things that conform to your ideology, that's wrong. That's, that's wrong. I know I was being I said I was gonna be subjective and all that, but this video in particular, it's just wrong. I have no other way to describe it. It's just wrong. It's another instance of feigning acceptance. Men can talk about what they want to talk about, but only if it's like not soft. Only if you're not being a fucking bitch. That what the fuck. It's just so wrong. Don talked about before being, a virgin to marriage, and that's the way it should be done. As long as you're not a loser. As long as you're not a loser, then you're cool with me. This whole video is just him making fun of being insensitive and just being an ignorant asshole. There's not much more for me to say. The clips, the video, they just speak for themselves. And we're at the conclusion. I won't put too much here. He had a lot more clips, a lot more videos that I wanted to include. And I'm not really making like a long documentary. I was just kind of picking out stuff that I really wanted to talk about, and that's that. In conclusion, we're all gonna have our subjective arguments. As people, we're gonna have a lot of subjective thoughts and arguments and opinions, and by nature we're gonna disagree on things because we place value in different things. We have different weight systems for things. We have different beliefs. All of that is going to have us at odds because of our opinions. But that's completely normal. The videos and the discussions, they come from the belief system that he has. But to me, it feels like he continues to offer his subjective views as objective truths. And at the same time, he will villainize and demonize any contrary view that is not his. People do this a lot. Just because people do it a lot, and just because it's the normal thing to do, doesn't mean that it's what should be done. This is quite the opposite of being open and accepting. I mean, jeez. If you make a video about the difference between a pen and a pencil, he'll say, "Why are you supporting pens? L take." Like, he'll come to a conclusion for you just so he can disagree with you. And he did that with a video right here. I'm just going to flash a screenshot. I went through a lot of his videos. And he, as a person, has a right to his views. He can say whatever he likes. But I can also disagree. I can say here that people are open to disagree with me in any of the statements that I've made. And I know that. I'm open to discourse and discussion that's meaningful. It's only natural for us to have a difference in opinions. My views are subjective through and through. They're my views, And I don't got much to say here. Again, there's other discussions I'm going to have. I'm not really like a commentary person or like a video essayist person or whatever. But at least one or two more videos on like specific topics that really resonate with me lately. I think after that I'll go back to trying to make some gaming videos or whatever. But I'll just leave you with my final thought on everything that we've talked about, and that is the judgment that he's able to weave in and out of every sentence gets more and more ironic with every Bible verse he quotes in any of his videos. Thank you for listening.